Fazıl Kerim Hoca'yı aldım.
Selamünaleyküm.
Sayın Hocam sesimiz geliyor mu?
Evet, duyuluyor. Siz beni duyuyor musunuz?
Evet kıymetli hocam. Hocam şu ana kadar almadık içeriye. Sadece Doktor
Selamünaleyküm.
Abdülaziz Bey buradalar.
Tamam.
Ee,
Selamünaleyküm Doktor
sesimiz geliyor
Abdülaziz.
mu?
How are you?
Yes, Alhamdulillah. How are you, Muhammad?
Evet kıymetli hocam.
Elhamdülillah. Doktor Abdülaziz, we will
Hocam
start. I
şu
have
ana
another...
kadar almadık içeriye. Sadece Doktor Abdülaziz Bey buradalar. Kayıt dönüyor hocam.
Tamam.
Alalım. Hocam alalım mı misafirleri?
Doktor Abdülaziz, bir dakika. Bir dakika
Yes,
Abdülaziz
Alhamdulillah.
Bey. Bir şey söyleyeyim ondan sonra.
Buyurun
Doktor
hocam.
Abdülaziz, now I have another meeting. I will
Yes,
just
please.
start and give the floor is yours. Then inshallah you will continue. Is that okay?
No, it's okay. Okay. I'm really happy to see you here. Alhamdulillah. I
Okay.
thought that another
Okay.
will be the moderators. Okay. Shukran.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. Alabilirsiniz. Tamam.
Hocam o zaman müsaadenizle gruba alıyorum. Siz hemen başlatabilirsiniz aldıktan sonra.
Tamam. Tamam.
So someone can formally
Evet hocam.
start or
Niye hocam? Sahada okul ziyaretine gittiğimiz zaman sizin devlet sınavınızı ben yapıyorum, akdem yapıyor dediğimiz zaman kapılar açılıyor. Bu da bizim elimizi çok güçlendiriyor hocam. Geçen sene biz bir sürü
hello.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Assalamualaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
If all of you could please keep your mics on mute. If our administrator could kindly mute everyone apart from our speaker today, Dr. Muhammad Abdulaziz.
Yes, please. So can I start now?
Just a second. Let me start,
I
inshallah.
think you need to introduce or something like this, inshallah. Introductory speech.
Yeah. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dear brothers and sisters, as the International Union of Islamic Book Publishers, we are organizing our international conference today on Islamic book publishing in Bangladesh. Our guest and our presenter today is a very good friend of us, speaker, Dr. Abdulaziz from Bangladesh. And I hope he will give us a very good presentation on the background, the present, and the future of Islamic publishing in Bangladesh. And I would like to thank Dr. Abdulaziz for being with us today, and to all of you, for all participants following us today. And the floor is yours, Dr. Abdulaziz.
Okay, shukran. The screen is okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, respected moderator, Professor Dr. Mohammed Bulut, President, International Union of Islamic Book Publishers, Dr. Muhammad Agiraka, Secretary General of International Union of Islamic Book Publishers, honorable committee members, and dear participants, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's topic, as you know, the Islamic book publishing in Bangladesh. So I will present this topic in some ways with the focusing of early Islamic publishing to contemporary Islamic publishing, in addition to the mainstream publishing industry status of our country, inshallah. So first of all, there is the demographic of our country profile, includes the demographic. The population of Bangladesh is 174 million as of March 2, 2024. The 7th most populated country in the world, with almost 2.2% of the world population. Total land area of 50,259 square miles. And the population density in Bangladesh is 1,329 people per square kilometer. So in terms of language, 98% of Bangladesh is using Bengali as the first language. The 7th most spoken language of state of West Bengal, and also co-official language of state of Tripura, Southern Assam, and the Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Island. The Bengali language has a rich literary heritage and underwent a renaissance in the late 19th century. And perhaps Bangladesh is the country where Bangladeshi people sacrificed their lives to achieve its own language in Bangla in 19th century. So that's why is a good literary heritage in terms of language movement in Bangladesh. So in terms of religion, there are about 91.04% Bangladeshis are Muslims, followed by largest minority of Hindus, 7.95%, Buddhist 0.61%, Christian 0.30%, and others 0.12% as per 2022 census. These are the basic country profile, demographics, language, and religion. So now Islam in early Bengal. I will focus Islam in early Bengal, how Islam comes in Bengal. So Bengal was blessed by the presence of a large number of the saints and their influence in the more deep and abiding than elsewhere in the Indo-Pakistan subcontinent. In the Bengal, Sufis served the cause of Islam and the society in various ways. And they made more substantial contribution to the development of Muslim society than even the Muslim conquerors, generals, and rulers. Among the saints, Hazrat Shah Jalaluddin, who came in Bengal in 1271 in Sylhet. Hazrat Khan Jahan Ali was also in Bagarhat districts in 10th century, 10th Christian. Hazrat Sufi Sayyid Muhammad Da'im in Munshigঞ্জ, Shaykh Jalal al-Din Tabriz and Nur Qutub Alam in North Bengal, Hazrat Mainuddin Chishti, Hazrat Shah Rukunuddin, Hazrat Shah Sultan Balki Mishwar in 16th century, and Hazrat Shah Amanat in Chittagong in 18th century. They are the major saints who contributed a lot to promotion of Islam in this region. And then, yes. So the Bengali literature reveals that there was enormous influence of the Muslims in East Bengals in the later part of the 13th century. The 17th of the 13th century, Sheikh Sharaf al-Din Abi Tawam established his Khanka, an academy at Sunarga. population of Sunarga before its conquest by the Muslims was the product of missionary activities of the saints. Some of the Sufis were vastly learned men of the time, and their khankas were the illuminating centers of the learning. They attract peoples from the far and wide. The Muslims of Bengal followed the true spirit of Islam. A large number of sources on various subjects were compiled by the celebrated Muslim scholars of Bengal. Muslims of Bengal were pioneers in Islamic scholarship from the 15th century, producing valuable works that represented Islam accurately and popularized Islamic subjects among the community. One of them is Muzammil, who talented Bengali poet of the middle of the 15th century, was well versed in Islamic subjects. He belongs to the Sufistic schools and was a disciple of the great saint Badri Alam. One of the commercial city of Bangladesh, this is the Chittagong. Chittagong particularly stood out as the center of scholars' poet, including figures like Daulat Wazir Bahram, Saribit Khan, Sayyid Sultan. These poetic works written in Bengali reflected their profound knowledge of Arabic, Persian literature, and Islamic topics, showcasing Chittagong as a great seat of learning and culture during the Muslim period. So these religious works in Bengali played a significant role in the religious and cultural lives of the Muslims of the province. These were the earliest books on Islamic learnings in the local language. The first printing press in Bengal was in Rangpur during 1847. The first printed piece was a weekly newspaper named Rangpur Barta Bahab in August 1847. So the first printing machine of Dhaka was named Bangla Press, and the first English weekly newspaper, the Dhaka News, was printed and published from Dhaka in 1856. Ajizia Press was perhaps established in 1882 in Mogoltuli in Dhaka. Bangladesh government press, now its name is BJ Press, came into its operation in 1948 in the central jail, Najimuddin Road in Dhaka. And in 1956, it was introduced as the East Pakistan Government Press, EPGP. And then the manpower strength was 4,000. And in 1971, EPGP was renamed as Bangladesh Government Press. That is BG Press, only Bangladesh Government Press. So these are the major early works on tafsirs. They are the different tafsirs, Tafsir Jalalain, Tafsir Usmani, Tafsir Bayojabi, Tafsir Quran, Nurul, and many more tafsirs in the early period. These are the major early works on Sirah. Very particularly Mustafa Chorito and other books, other Sirat ibn Hishams and other things are major early works on Sirah. So there are major scholarly works in the early period. First of all, I would like to remind Musharraf Hussain, who is the first major writer to emerge from the Muslim society of Bengal. And his writings, he is the very familiar with the Bishat Sindhu, an epic novel in remembrance with the Karbala tragedy. So he is very familiar with this epic novel, Bishat Sindhu. It is also translated into English and published in 2018. But earlier, first it's published in 1885 in Bangla. So he has many other books and writings which promote to the Islamic spirit among Bangladeshi Muslims. Then another one is Muhaqqabi Kaikobad. He is the poet and great poet of Muslim awakening, particularly awareness and awakening. He contributed a lot, and there is a lot of writings, very particularly Muhashwasan. He is very familiar with this Muhashwasan. The poem narrates the story of the third battle of Panipat of 1761 and the defeat of the Marathas of Ahmad Shah Abdali. And another one is Maulana Akram Khan. He is the great politician, Islamic scholars, and journalist. He is the founder of Dhaka's first Bengali newspaper, The Azad, named The Azad. One of the founders of Jamiyat Ulama Hind. And his major works is Mustafa Chorito, Tafsirul Quran, Muslim Banglar Samajik Itihas, History of Muslim Bengal, and Tafsir Quran, 5 volumes of Tafsir Quran, And on Sirat Granth, this is called Mustafa Churito. It's very unique. He has a different and unique ideas in his tafsirs. Very particularly, his tafsirs is the tafsir Quran promotes the gender mainstreamings and other things which is rare with other tafsirs. That's why he has a great contributions of right interpretations of tafsirs in the Quran. And he's also a great journalist. So another one is Principal Akram Khan. He is another pioneering figure in the case of writings, which promotes the Islamic principles and the Islamic spirits amongst our Muslims. So Ghulam, another one is Ghulam Mustafa, the Islamic Muslim writer and poet, Ghulam Mustafa. So Ghulam Mustafa, his poetic works includes Raj Karang, Khusroj, and many other things. I'm not going to the details of these things. His poetic contributions is a lot, and really is contributed to a lot to the awakening Muslims in these regions. So poet Ghulam Mustafa. Very particularly, his Vishwa Nobi is a popular book about the life of Prophet Muhammad and is often read on that Milad. Another one, I think you are aware about him, Kazi Nazrul Islam. He is the national poet and voice of Bengali Muslims, strange points against communalism. He wrote and composed music for nearly 4,000 songs, known collectively as Nazrul Giti or Nazrul Sangit. He has gifted the nation with at least 204,000 popularly songs. And in addition, his poetry books is 10, poems, songs, books 12, short stories 6, novels, drama, essays. He has he is also a great contributions to the British movements, anti-British movements in these regions. Another one is Dewan Muhammad Azraf. Dewan Muhammad Azraf is really an Islamic thinker, Islamic philosopher, writer, and critic of this region, and he has different writings, very particularly religions and philosophy. Is very popular for another book, Islam as Solutions to the Problems in Life, and he has the background of the culture of Islamic Muslim Bengal, Science and Revelations, Philosophy of History, Islamic Movements, its origin, growth, and development. These are the major works of Dewan Muhammad Azraf. And another one, Farooq Ahmed, he's another poet and reported poet who very particularly known as a Muslim poet, Renaissance. He contributed a lot for the Renaissance Muslims in these regions. As many of his poems embody the spirit of research sections and particularly in the hearts of the downtrodden Muslims of then Bengal. They explored the glory of Muslim cultures and called for a Muslim awakening. He dedicated himself to the services of Islam. The celebration of Islamic principles, history, legends, and symbol became the aim of his poetic career. His poems reflect the Arab and Persian legacy in Bengal and are replayed with the Arabic and Persian words. He also wrote satirical poems and sonnets as well. So these are the few words of him. And another one is Sayyid Ali Hassan. He is also the national professor and an intelligence and poem and educationist. He has a lot of books, and he's very familiar with his books, Muhammad, Seal of the Prophets. Alhamdulillah, these is very great contributions of him, and Muhanobi. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is another one, and his writings has contributed a lot to the Renaissance of Bengali Muslims. So another one is Sayyid Ali Ashraf. Is the brothers of Sayyid Ali Hassan, He is, I think all of you are aware about him. He is the professor of Cambridge University and Pakistan, Karachi University also. He is the educationist, and he is the pioneering figure of 1977 movement all over the globe. I think you know that the first World Conference on Muslim Education held in 1977 in Makkah, and he is the pioneer figure of that conference, and followed by 7th conference over the globe. So, and his major works, The Crisis in the Muslim Educations, New Horizon in Muslim Education, Islam Teachers Manuals, Religion and Education, Islam and Christian Approach. He was also the director of Islamic Academy, Cambridge. These are the major contributions of the thing, and he is the pioneer of Islamic, establishing Islamic education in Bangladesh as well. Alhamdulillah. Another one is Professor Shahid Ali. He is an educationist, cultural activist, and an author. He has also contributed a lot. Very particularly, he translated in Bengali the Herodotus, Road to Makkah, by the Muhammad Asad, and Fundamentals of Economics, History of Political Theory, Islam in Bangladesh, Economic Order of Islam's Modern Science and Modern People's History. So he was a reputed translator as well, and through his translations was Bangladeshi peoples have greatly benefited from this writing in line with the Islamic spirit, developing Islamic spirit. And another one, the Maulana Muhyiddin Khan, is the Islamic pioneering Islamic thinkers and writers and critics in this country. He is very familiar with his great work, great tafsirs, Ma'riful Quran. He is the great tafsirs. The 8-volume tafsirs. He is very familiar with these tafsirs. Even he also did a great job. So Al-Ghazali's Yahya Ulumuddin, he translated these things. And Abul Kalam Azad, Insaniyat Mawaki, Darwaji Por, the form of humanity in the face of death. The 2 books are the great translated works by him. So he established a Modena Publications, has also published more than 600 titles from the year 1957 in various subjects, including Quran, Hadith, Sirat, History, Tradition, and Dictionary. So, and his important books in Islam and Our Life, Right Paths, even Tazridul Bukhari, Ajadi movements, and many more things. He is okay. And another one is poet Al-Mahmud. Al-Mahmud is 20th century Bengali literature. He has contributed a lot. A Bangladeshi poet, novelist, and his important few books really contributed to the young one. And he was basically secularist, and then he embraced with Islamic movements, and Alhamdulillah, he contributed a lot to the Islamic lines in some ways. And Kavi Mutiur Rahman, poet Mutiur Rahman Mollik, is also the pioneering singer in our country, which particularly Islamic cultural. He is the promoter or pioneering figure of the cultural movement in this country. Alhamdulillah. And he has thousands of songs in different ways, and contributed a lot to the developing the spirit of Islam. Alhamdulillah. And another one is Abdul Mannan Talib. He is also a great scholar in Bangladesh. He wrote different books, very particularly Islam in Bangladesh. He is very familiar with his books, and Riyadus Salihin, another one. And he translated great books, very particularly from the Nari Shadinat, that means freedom of women at the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He translated these books, 4-volume books. He translated in Bengal, which contributed a lot to the women's empowerment with the Islamic mainstreams. So this is very remarkable for this one. And another one is Maulana Abdul Rahim. He was really a politician and Bangladeshi Islamic pioneering Islamic scholars. He wrote different books, Alhamdulillah, very particularly Zakat, Tafimul, Islamic economics, Islamic Zakat Bidans, and many more books, Tafimul Quran and other things. He contributed a lot to this translated and contributed in many ways. Maulana Abdul Rahim is a great scholar, and we may consider is one of the pioneering figure to Islamic, alhamdulillah. And next, Muhammad Lutfur Rahman, he is also the writer, editor, and social activist, very particularly Unnoto Jibon, that means developed lives, he is familiar with these books, and Noble Life is very familiar with those books. So another one, and Shah Abdul Hannan, he's basically, he was the civil servant, but he is the is pioneering very particularly contemporary Islamic thoughts. He is the pioneer of contemporary Islamic thoughts. Very particularly, he promoted the major books of major scholar of the world in Bangladesh. He contributed a lot to major scholars in this country. Before that, the Bangladeshi peoples are very familiar with the Qaumi or Aliya or some groups. But Shah Abdul Hanan is the figure who popularized all kinds and all dimensions of Islamic scholars in this country. He contributed really the father figures, and he is the father figures of Islamic economic movements, Islamic banking movements in Bangladesh, and also the founding figure of Bangladesh Institute of Islamic Thoughts. She wrote some books, very particularly Islam and Gender. He's contributed, very particularly, he contributed to the gender mainstreamings. His major contributions in gender mainstreaming, and also with Usul al-Fiqh, very simplicity for using the fiqh. And he made it very simple to the rural peoples in Bangladesh, alhamdulillah. And contemporary, okay, now the contemporary publishing in Bangladesh, the publication industry is at least industry, meaning the storybooks, picture books, illustration books, is BDT 300 crore, and educational books BDT 10,000 crore refers guidebooks supporting educational books for schools around, trade books refer yearly per BDT 2,000 crore incomes, and trade books means the books that is published by commercial publishers for general readers. Okay, the printing sectors comprise of more than 7,000 printing press has witnessed its massive growth in the last 2 decades. The collective industry currently has the capacity to print 10 million books annually. About 200 scholarly books are published in Bangladesh annually. Approximately 500 to 700 new titles have been published each year by the authors themselves, including poetry, fictions, college textbooks, and some professional books. Publishing in the private sectors have grown rapidly over the last 10 years. There are now about 20 to 30 large companies who produce textbooks for the secondary, higher secondary, and tertiary level. So currently, some 2 lakhs people depended directly on the publishing industry for their livelihoods, with nearly 10 times as many people involved indirectly with this industry. There are about 200 professional publishing houses for academics and creative books, generating a business worth around 1,000 crore yearly. There are now about 100 online bookshops in the country. Online bookshops sell books worth 170 to 180 crore annually, with 700 market sale belongings to a Rokomari, which is the online pioneering online institutions in this country. So every day, nearly 600 orders are processed through these bookshops. In total, 18,000 books are delivered. Books. Okay, this is this interruption. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Okay. So these are the e-books. Okay, I will not go to the details. I will focus with the Islamic publishing. So, okay, these are the major book fairs in Bangladesh. So you know that our national levels there are a few book fairs in this country. The popular book fair in this country, this is called Omor Ekushe Granthmela, a month-long book fair organized by Bangla Academy. Bangla Academy is the national publishing national research and publishing centers of this country. With the initiative by the Bangla Academy, the Omor Ekushe Granthmela, each and every year in the month of February it is held, just to finish month-long Ekushe Granthmela. And another one is the Islamic Book Fair in Rabiul Awal and in the month of Ramadan. This is organized by the Islamic Foundation of Bangladesh. Islamic Foundation is the pioneering government research country, whereas Bangla Academy is the mainstream general publishing and research institute of this country. Omor Ekushe Granthmela organized by Bangla Academy and Islamic Foundation organized the Rabiul Awal and Maher Ramadan Islamic Book Fair. In addition to this Jatiyo Grantho Kendro, National Grantho
Değerli katılımcılar, sanırım bir seste teknik bir sorun yaşanıyor. Hocamızı bekliyoruz.
Sorry, I'm really very sorry for these interruptions again and again. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. We are hearing.
Okay.
Yes, we can
So what I
hear
said,
you now.
yes, yes. So what I said, we are just closing the, yeah. We're just these are the major major book fairs in the country. So divisional book fair also organized by the Jatiyo Granth Kendo. So I'm just these are the new books at Omor 21 February. I'm just quoting there is the statistical information about major book fair in this country. So this is the new books in regards to the Omor 21 book fair. You see that each and every years there's the new titles, and last 24 just we finished this book fair in February, just last month we finished this one. So new title published in 3751, and total sale is 660 crore taka. This is the more than 70% of books are launched during this Ekushey book fair, the country's biggest book event. Alhamdulillah. So these are the Association of Publishing Industry, Bangladesh Publishers and Booksellers Association, and Bangladesh Mudron. These are the association. 6,000 called has officials committee of over the country. That means 64 districts. There is the office and committee over the country. Alhamdulillah. So this is the mainstream publishing associations of Bangladesh. In addition, there another one is Mudron Shilpa Samiti, printing industry associations. It was established in 1977 and its member is 741. So Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Hello. Hello. So, what I said, sorry, what I said that the university Prathama Publications and the University Press Limited, they are the, although they are familiar as a secular publishing house in this country, but they are also publishing some Islamic content, Islamic books very recently. So these are the major books of them. So, and APL, these institutions actually very devoted to the Islamization of academic disciplines in this country, very particularly each and every academic disciplines with Islamic values and incorporating Islamic values in the academic test. I mean, really establishing Islamic relevancy to each and every field of knowledge. They are publishing some books, and these books are academically used as reference and required or recommended books in this country. So the academia publishing almost, and this is Islamic publishing by the Islamic book publishers. This is also Islamic Foundation Bangladesh. This is the only one national level Islamic think tank and government think tank and research and publishing institutions in this country. There are more than 4,000 titles they have published with different areas. These are the types of books published by the Islamic foundations. You see that children's series, they have Islam and Islamic ideology, they have published 631, and journal and occasional papers 1667. So whereas children's series is 499, and many more titles are there, near about 4,221 titles published. Islamic foundations. Okay, another one, these are the private Mashik Modina publications, Modina Khusro's Adunik, they are the also publishing houses in this country. Also Bangladesh Cooperative Book Society, Bangladesh Institute of Islamic Thoughts. These are the major Islamic institutions who are doing research and publishing journals, books from Islamic point of view. So Tawhid Publications, Al Quran, Maktabadur Azhar, Guardian, Hasan, Sunnah. These are also the Islamic Kutub Khana, Maktub Prakasham. These are the very recent, newly established publishing house by the individuals, young individuals of this country. So these are the publications of Bangladesh Institute of Islamic Thought. This is basically Bangladesh Institute of Islamic Thought is the institute, the think tank, which actually promoted the major books of major scholars in the countries and translated from Arabic and English into Bengali. They contributed a lot in this line. So, more than 200 titles they translated and published into Bengali. So major books of major scholar, including Omar Chafra, Hashim Kamali, scholars, Ahmad Tutunji, many more books published, Ismail Rajal Faruqi, and many other things. Okay, so these are the translated books. Okay, and now there are Bangladesh within few minutes, inshallah. So this is the just final one. Okay, finally, I would like to say some challenges of publishing industries in Bangladesh, very particularly high production cost, because it requires papers that 10 lakh ton in each and every year. Out of this, only 60% made by the locally and 40% we need to import. And link price is same. That's why cost is the high cost is still, and printing facilities, and in some cases there are such author royalty problems, deprivable author royalty. Most of the publishing house, they are not committed to pay the appropriate royalty to the authors. That's why sometimes the authors lost their interest to so write the some things, books, scholarly books, and lack of some professional skills, problems of limited market reach. Quality control is another things, because most of the cases quality control is very problems of maintaining the quality. And seasonal priority in districts, lack of internal or external regulation, very particularly government regulation is very interpreting. There are much more interpretations. So this into such kind of dual interpretations may some difficulties to the publishers and book authors also. So lack of modern technologies, absence of distributions and promotion networks, the rise of digital contents and ebooks, and copyright and piracy regulations also the challenge. These are the common challenges in our country, and we may forward to the steps towards improvements, establishing, I think, for Islamic market, Islamic book publishings, we need to establish a reading cafe or Islamic resource centers over the country. Whereas secular book publishing companies, they have a lot of reading cafe and Islamic resource centers, whereas Islamic publishing house, they don't have such kind of Islamic resource centers where people can read, people can drink the coffee or something like this, or people can take rest in a suitable environment. So this type of or in cafe or Islamic resource centers is really want of this kind of things. So whereas a secular publishing house is really a great job. They did the great job in promoting young and readers and youth and students. So conducting professional development course, we may proceed with these things so that they can, each and every aspects of publishing industry, we can, our people can orient with these things, conduct a research and survey. In comparing with secular and Islamic publishing house, there is a great demand to proceed with the formal research and survey, so that Islamic comparing with the secular Islamic publishing house, Islamic publishing, secular publishing house, Islamic Publishing House can be raised. So organizing the various, creating permanent resource center, what I said, in data bank, promoting translation studies. Translation is, in Bangladesh, translation is not yet a discipline, adopted as discipline yet. So that's why I need to adopt as discipline of the university or academia. And then diversifications of the themes. This is also another youth engagement is also need. Female voice, that means female authors. We need to incorporate the women, because in Bangladesh, women are the not in the particularly Islamic women or the women ulama. They're not very familiar with this writing and such promoting Islamic books, so quality books. So we need to incorporate, involve them, so that Muslim female ulama can contribute to the address to the girls and so women groups in these countries, because more than half populations are related to the women. So, and quest for the book trade tools, the culture of book fairs, it is very necessary by the Islamic Publishing House, whereas the secular groups are doing this job frequently. Developing strong network with international publishers and distributors. Very specifically, I think there is a great demand of local edition of foreign books. If we can do it, the local edition of foreign books, there is a great demand and the foreign books with Islamic focus, because Bangladesh still cannot proceed with the quality Islamic publishing books from Bangladesh. So if there is a great demand of foreign books, but if it is with a local edition, printed in Bangladesh, and it can be the great demand, I think so. So these are the major ideas. In addition to that, one of the greatest challenges we face, there is currently no entry that managed human resource development for the publishing industry in Bangladesh. It is not yet mainstream. Industry is adopted not in the mainstream national budget or something like this. That's why it is still in some cases undermined. So besides this, there is a number of other key areas which will enable Bangladesh publishing sector to thrive, and namely we need very particularly favorable and sound legal, political, cultural, and economic environment or frameworks, fostering joint publications between domestics and foreign publishers. These are the major recommendations and major themes. So with these few words, I conclude my words. Many thanks to all of you for listening me many more times. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I just finished, please. Attention, the moderator, please. Do you have any question, please?
Yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have a question. So
Yes,
when you
please.
said local edition of foreign books, what do you mean by that?
Local edition?
I understand local edition and foreign books.
Yes, look at foreign books. That means I know that you all of you are aware that Alhamdulillah there is a Islamic publishing houses over the globe, Malaysia, Turkey, even Arab countries. There's a lot of books with Islamic perspectives and Islamic point of view. Whereas Bangladesh really is these books, such kind of books are not available. But if it is possible to print those books from Bangladesh, if we get the soft copy or something like this, then those kind of books, and we can publish as it is from Bangladesh, so that publication, printing cost or distribution, cost can be manageable if we can print this in Bangladesh. This is the idea.
Yes. Also, I have a question. Like, as you said, women ulama. I don't know if there is any women ulama in Bangladesh, but those who interested to write Islamic books as a woman. And tell me one thing: do you think there is a market for English books, or we need to publish as a translation in Bangla?
Actually, English Bangla books is very popular. not English one. That's why we need to translate it into Bengali. English books, yeah, particularly in the university students, teachers, and faculty members, academic field, we can reprint from local edition, and then we may proceed with them in the university level with the English language. But grassroots levels, it is required to make a translation in Bengali. But for university and academia, it's okay, the English language. But in that case, it must be with the local edition. Otherwise, cost will be the survival.
And also, I want to know the marketing. So, writing and publishing, it is understandable. But marketing-wise, tell me something about marketing. How to market after writing a books.
Alhamdulillah, there is a nowadays there are, you know that e-commerce, e-books, and online marketing is very popular. It's growing in some ways in Bangladesh. In addition, Islamic brothers, you know that there are different trends of Islamists. That means Aliyah trend, Qawmi trend, Islamic movements, and other trends of Islamic. They have a good networks over the country, Alhamdulillah. So if we can use those networks, because Islamic brothers that belongs to different organizations, institutions, and different groups, we definitely have. These are the strength to just we need to proceed with the data bank, and if we use those network, this will be definitely the market will be the range, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. And you are broadcasting this from Bangladesh, or
yes,
this meeting is Bangladesh? Okay. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Abdulaziz. I am Saud Usmani from Pakistan.
Yes, brother.
And
how are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Nice to see you. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for your kind and nice presentation, and it was informative, though there were some disturbances due to the internet connections. So I have a request, if you can put this document on this group, and so that we can read and get the figures which you presented in your document. So first, my request is that you please document this presentation and post it in the group first thing.
Inshallah, sure.
And the next thing is, do you think there are any prospects of Urdu, Arabic, and English books printed in Pakistan? Do you think there are prospects of importing it to Bangladesh or printing it in Bangladesh? What do you see about it?
Shukran, thank you. So in regards to the Urdu and Arabic books, really in Bangladesh, there is the marketplace. This is called Bangla Bazaar. Bangla Bazaar, there is a big shopping mall, and very particularly related to the Arabics and Urdu books. So this market is called Islamic Tower. Islamic Tower. This is very devoted to Arabic and Islamic books. So there is a great demand, definitely, but it needs to cost effective through local productions. If it is with the directly Islamic or Arabic books, there is a great demand, because Bangladesh, Qawmi Madrasa, you know, there is a huge grassroots levels Qawmi Madrasas. There are Qawmi Madrasa brothers, Tabligh Jamaat brothers. They are very familiar with Arabic and Urdu. So even in addition to the Islamic movements and other organizations, they're also practicing Arabic and Urdu. Our Bangladeshi brothers, they have the great religiosity, committed to the religiosity. So there's a great demand, but issue is that cost effective, so that it can be popularized. If cost is reasonable, that it can be popularized. If we can print it local from the local market, and it can be possible. Otherwise, we need to translate these things into Bengali.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Azim Bhai.
Oh, Jihad Bhai.
Can I talk a few minutes?
Okay. Question, okay. How about supplement?
Okay.
So another brother, he want to supplement something. Yes, please.
Okay. I am now from Thailand, and I heard your lecture, and it is a nice lecture and a lot of information. Alhamdulillah, we all are benefited by your lecture. I want to add just few points about the spread of Islam. we should mention it also that Ikhtiaruddin Muhammad Bakhtiar Khilji, he also conquered this, and the moderator will be happy to know that he was a probably Turkish general.
Yes,
So,
yes. I missed this
so
point.
it is
Yes.
a very good connection that Turkey is from the very beginning. Turkey is related with our Islamization.
Yes.
Another point I want to mention that Pakistani brother told about Islamic literature, and I know that APL and BIT has translated almost many books of Dr. Yusuf Al-Karzabi. And our Bengali readers are immensely benefited by these translations, and I personally also benefited too much. So Alhamdulillah, it's a great, and I am also happy that BIT has also published my book also.
Yes,
So thank you all today,
So
and thank you BIT for all this support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Jihad Khan is a cardiac professor in this country. So thank you, brother. Yes, please. Next question, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Yes, please.
So I'm Dr. Ali Mahmood from Kashmir. So a very great lecture from your side. I appreciate such lectures need to be continuously published as well. But most of your lecture touched the regional aspect, what we call as from Bangladesh point of view. But at present, we are in crisis across the world, Muslim particularly, and particularly in the field of Islamization when we are talking about, and we lack textbooks. What is the point of view, or what BIIT is thinking about this? Does we need to have the world view of Islam in the form of textbooks, or just it is a regional effort for that very cause?
Okay, thank you, brother Dr. Muhammad Ali Muhammad. This is a very good question. So my presentation is definitely focusing with the Bangladesh part, because I am assigned with this Bangladesh part. You know that International Union of Islamic Book Publishers, this is the third lecture. Before that, Malaysia, India already done. And this is the third lectures with Bangladesh. And next time, I think other countries will also be covered. So this is the first thing. And second thing, in regards to the textbooks, you will be happy to know that Bangladesh, very particularly Bangladesh Institute of Islamic Thought and Academia Publishing House Limited, APL, they are contributing great things for academic field, academic textbooks. They are the pioneering organizations for Islamization of academic disciplines over the globe, with the assistance of very particularly redesigning the curriculum, and one course, one book. We're publishing one course, one book, so that it can be used as required books in the particular disciplines. Alhamdulillah, we have already done more than 4,000 courses with Islamic inputs. And one course, one book, we have already published near about 50 books, and now we are nearer about also more than 50 projects are going on. So one course, one book. And there are huge compilations from Islamic perspectives, great resources over the globe. We have collected, compiled, and thousands of compilations we have. Based on these compilations, our people, that means academicians or researchers, they are going through the documents, and they are trying to incorporating those things to the each and every discipline's knowledge. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
Okay, next, please.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Fatah Mahfouz.
Yes, please.
Absolutely, sir, your presentation is excellent. But I think one point is missing. Missing means we should mention it, that about the marketing of publishing Islamic book. So we know that you mentioned fairs in our countries about many book fairs, but in these fairs, mainly I mention about national book fairs, Ekushe Boimela. Now, we know that in these national book fairs, the Islamic publishers, mainly Guardian Publications and Samarpan, Sundipon, and another Adhunik Prakashani and another Islamic book publishing houses are not allowed to enter in these fairs. We know that. And I think it's very, very given a bad effect in our marketing of Islamic book publishing. And I think we should overcome this.
Okay, thank you. You rightly pointed out these things. I'm not going to the issues directly because it's a very sensitive issues. You know that in terms of Bangladesh government is the government policy. You know, so I'm not quoting these things. It's not possible to quote directly to this audience. So there are some limitations definitely because it's regards to the government policy. Our government. Even not only government brothers, our Muslim brothers really expect that most of the Muslims, they are only in the name of Muslims. They don't carry on the Islamic spirits in true sense, just in the name, by the name, the Muslims, but not with the carrying the true spirit of Islam. Because of its cultural dominance by secular groups and Indian hegemony and Western hegemony or some other things. So really we are facing some troubles in this regard. That's why we could not, most of the Islamic publishing house, even in book mela, the Bangladesh institutes cannot proceed with this, entering this because of only the Islamic name, the National Book Fair. They cannot attend. Just only with Islamic name, it is rejected. So there's many examples are there, but I'm not going to the details. There are as there is sensitivity, but it's really great challenges nowadays. Inshallah. So this is the challenges, and in other words, I consider this is the blessings because we need to be strategic, inshallah. So alhamdulillah, through this process, inshallah, we'll be able to face these things. Please, next, please.
Hi. Assalamu alaikum. So,
Subhanallah. Yes, please.
I'm Saban. We're from Maktaba Islamia, Pakistan. I basically wanted to ask, from an external audience, especially in the Indian subcontinent, what would be the most motivating factor, like the one thing which would motivate external publishers to tap into the Bangladeshi market? If I can ask, what's different about Bangladeshi audience as opposed to other parts of the world, which can motivate a publisher to come and bring their work into Bangladesh?
Okay, I think like Pakistan, Malaysia, Turkey, and Arab world, they have a great. There's a lot of writings I know. These writings with Islamic inputs, but in Bangladesh there is a want of books with Islamic inputs. But on the other hand, they have these things. So I think if those kind of publishers, if Bangladeshi Islamic brothers can act as distributors, so or local publishers or distributor or translator of these books, so both can be benefited in some ways. Both can be benefited. I think we need to bilateral discuss, and there is some scopes because. So there is a religiosity, alhamdulillah. Although despite of some limitations by the government rules and regulations and other actors and factors, but general peoples, they have the religiosity mind, alhamdulillah. They're the great mind of Islamic mind. So they own these things. They carry on those Islamic books and circulation. So they will do it, they will follow it if we can manage it with the reasonable cost and other things. We may discuss further. If you are interested, then we may, inshallah, hold a separate meeting in the Jum'ah, inshallah, please.
And which kind of topics you think are more people read in Bangladesh?
Children books.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it same across the different cities of Bangladesh, or there's bigger market in Dhaka or these places, or
yes. Yes. We have also some outlets over the country, alhamdulillah. Some outlets. We have some networks also, inshallah. We are
Thank you.
doing the things despite of challenges and difficulties. Alhamdulillah, we are doing the job. Alhamdulillah. Next, Brother Shaykh Taifur, I want to listen from you. I'm missing you. Really, I could not attend this event last week. So sorry. So if you have any comments or observation, please. You know.
Evet, ben de çeviri rica edeceğim kendilerine. Mümkün mü acaba?
Alhamdulillah.
Ben çok teşekkür ediyorum. Çok değerli, kıymetli bir sunum oldu gerçekten.
Yes.
Kendilerinde bahsettiği gibi bazı hususları daha özelde konuşmak gerekiyor. Bu tür özel konumları ne kadar çok konuşursak Bangladeş yayın pazarına o kadar çok hakim olacağız ve daha doğru adımlar atmamızı sağlayacak. Hep birlikte inşallah Bangladeş yayıncılığını konuşmaya devam edeceğiz.
Okay. So anyone want to translate it to English, or I think it's okay with us. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for your making these comments and responding to our presentations. Thank you, brother. Shukran, Jazakallah. Go to the English channel. Yes.
Galiba Mehmet hocam yok. Muhammed hocam isterseniz moderatörlüğü alıp.
Yeah, brother Muhammad. Okay, so any more question or observations? Otherwise, we may proceed with the. I'm drawing my attention to the moderator to proceed with the finishing or ending the sessions. If you have any more questions or observation, please make us. Or I think, brother Taifur, you may finish these things. I think.
Peki.
The next country is Albania. I think so. The next country is Albania. Albania presentations will be in the next sessions. The fourth lectures will be in Albania with the Islamic Publishing in Albania. Isn't it?
Evet, o şekilde. Adnan İsmaili Bey şu an buradalar ve sizler.
Okay.
İnşallah bir sonraki programımız.
Okay.
Kuzey Makedonya özelliğinde Balkanlardaki İslami hep birlikte değerlendirelim.
Okay, thank you.
İnşallah.
Şükran.
Her birinize katılımlarınızdan dolayı çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Bir sonraki toplantıda görüşmek üzere.
Anyone, you may go to the English channel to learn from the hymn if it is needed from your side. Our audience, I'm drawing the attentions to our audience.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Shukran, Jazakallah. So now we're going to finish the sessions, and next presentation will be with the Albania. So thank you, brother Dr. Muhammad, the Secretary General of the Islamic Union of Islamic Book Publishing, also the President, brother Muhammad Bulud, for giving me the scopes for these presentations. So thank you all and committee members with International Union of Islamic Book Publishers. Thank you all. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, see you again.
So all are invited to Bangladesh, please. You may make a plan to visit Bangladesh at your convenient time. Inshallah, we'll go with you. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.